Advent calendar is not necessarily a watercolor word. However, it has become one in recent years. I'm not the only one who creates an Advent calendar for the 24 days preceding Christmas. Normally, Advent is the 4 Sundays before Christmas, but commercially, it's considered the first 24 days of December. And normally, I call them quirky Advent calendars because they were each different. And I used stuff that I had around, colors that I had extras of. This year, for the first time, and likely my last time because I want to slow down my paint production, I created a calendar that was the same for everyone, and I made it in half pan, quarter pans, and I think also some mini pans. Yes, of course, also some mini pans. And I based it, I was inspired by this book that my sister Sabrina gave me for my birthday. And it's Nature's Palette. And for every color, it has a description and then illustration from vintage books that for each color has examples in nature, meaning the animal world, the mineral world, and the vegetable world. So you have an animal, a plant, and a stone or a rock or a crystal for each color. And I was inspired by looking at it and then creating paint and matching it. And in order to match it, I made these swatches. And the matches weren't perfect, but the idea was to, for example, purplish white was this, the kitty wake. Oh wait, was it yellowish white? I don't remember. It was a kitty wake. And then, let's see if I find, I think it starts with whites and then blacks. Blues. See, it has this, and they're all very muted, and I think part of it is because of the fugitive nature of many of the pigments used in the illustrations. But let's see, I have this china blue. It doesn't look like it. Wait a minute, what did I base it on? Anyway, some look more like it than others, but it was inspiring nevertheless. And then I put those little rounds here to see how they went together and give it names that kept changing. Sorry about the books falling. And then I put dot loops for myself on this box that used to hold Ferrero Rocher chocolates that I found on the side of the street. And it's not, they're mostly in order, yeah. I like this, I'll keep this, even though I tend to throw things out. And then every day, for my Advent calendar colors, every day I did an illustration here that had an example from the book. Usually I wrote it kept evolving. Right here I wrote Leaves of Woody Nightshade, Augite Green, which is the name. The name's changed. Indian Cress Orange it's the only shimmer. This is everybody's favorite because it separates into blue and pink, Spinel Red. This is Mizomela, which is the name of this bird. A beautiful granulating black, tiger moth black. Pagadite is a mineral, but as an example, rocks are not as much fun as birds to paint. But here is a rock, because this is aster purple, but I didn't want to have an aster because there's a lot of flowers already. So amethyst is given as another example. Apollo pink is a color of peach blossoms. Fennel blue is also the color of Love in the Mist. Ceramica Moth, so Ceramica Green. Olive Brown is also the color of whatever this is, I don't remember. Malus Orange, malus means apple, but it's also the color of goldfish. I really like this, the bubbles. Verdigris, my least favorite illustration, but there you go, you can't love everything. And it's also the color of malachite. This is another separating color, fluorspar, which is a mineral, and it's also the color of crocuses. Kittiwake is the smallest of the gulls, and it's the color of the shadow under their neck. Siskin is a bird. It's more greenish than this, like a greenish yellow. And Calycanthus is another name of Carolina allspice, and the color is iron flint red. If I mentioned already, but this year it's unusual, but the day of Advent was also the day of December. So the 19th of December was also the 19th day of Advent. Pink larkspur. We think of larkspur as blue, but they also have pink ones. Pistachio green. I think this really reflects what I think of as pistachio, even though in Italy pistachio ice cream is not green because there's enough brown in the pistachio nut, but it neutralizes the green. This is another separating color. December 21st is also my wedding anniversary. It's also usually winter solstice. Scotch blue, the color of mussels. Spartium, it's a ginestra in Italian, very common, lovely scent, but it's a saffron yellow. The mallard duck that we have a lot of here. And Eudocimus is the Latin name for the red scarlet ibis, but I didn't want to, I thought a poppy would be more interesting. I wrote all the names here, and I thought it would be fun to do a quick swatch of them together. And in order to fit them all, I'm going to have long, thin swatches. So China blue, agate green, Indian cress, spinel red, which is really a pink, Mizomela red, which is a true red. I love this black. These dollops will last me a very long time. Pagadite red is glorious. I love it. Granulates. Aster purple. Apollo red, another lovely orangey pink. Fennel blue is a cool blue with a gentle separation into yellow. And Ceramica green. Olive brown is a lovely cool brown, coolish. Of course, granulates. What's the point of having brown if it doesn't granulate? Malus orange is more of a brown than an orange, but orange and brown are very similar colors. I have verdigris. I had the forethought to use a waterproof pen for this because I really like non-waterproof pens, but they wouldn't have worked so well. Fluorspar, lovely. Kittiwake, barely visible, but beautiful, and it's fun to drop it into things. 17, Siskin. Some of these ended up not using. Yeah, Siskin is green. I don't know why it came out yellow in that. All right, iron flint red, which is a interesting color because it's not quite red. Larkspur pink, and then pistachio, which doesn't look as bright as it is. But again, all these colors look very different. They're very highly pigmented. I didn't spare any. So if you put a lot of water, they'll get really light. And if you look at the Scotch blue, It's practically black, but you can also make a very pale blue with it. Saffron, nice warm grainy yellow. Mallard green is a dark, almost, there is no perylene green here, but it almost looks like it if you use it intense. And Eudocimus. So these are their intense versions. You can make an intense color pale, but you can't make a pale color intense. Just like you can make a bright color. You can go from bright to dull, but you cannot go from dull to bright. You can go from intense to light, but not from pale to intense. So it's always good to have intense, highly pigmented paints and mostly bright ones because it's very easy, and we'll work on that in the future, to make intense, bright colors pale or dull. But look how beautiful they all look together. So thank you for indulging me in this watercolor advent calendar. Many thanks to those of you who bought it, and from what I hear, you've been enjoying it, so that makes me very happy. Thank you.